Like, making an MMO guide is so weird. Because so many veteran players will be like, I can't believe you missed this, you missed this, you missed this. Even if it's literally meant to be like a simple guide. And I think it's the funniest thing as to just like how MMO players just like don't like they just have this designated thing in mind about like you need to play the game this way. If you were not doing things this way, you were doing it wrong. And like who cares? Like the way I play Lotro or the way I play SWOTOR does not affect how you play Lotro. It does not affect how you play SWOTOR. So like why like don't make a deal out of it. You're just weird. But exactly, like if you don't have a guide, never would have made it to endgame. And like so many people are like, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this, and it's wrong. And it just doesn't it just drives me up a wall. And at just how weird people get. Like I don't the internet just completely baffles me as to how people get like these specific parts of their mentality of how a game needs to be played, and then when it's not played that way, it's like everything is just horribly wrong. It just is so weird to me. And so because of YouTube's wikis and such, that old school way of playing it is just yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It's why one of the things that like I love about Final Fantasy 14 is they like unironically mastered the way of how to teach new players the game. Now, is it perfect? Okay, I'm not going to say it's perfect. So maybe they haven't quite mastered it, but it is one of the better new player experiences. They have built into their main story a um a role tutorial. So, like if you're like before you go into your first dungeon, there is a tutorial for you that teaches you how to tank. It teaches you how to DPS. It teaches you how to heal. And like what are the primary things to be focusing on in those tutorials. And that to me is huge. Why is my game so stuttery right now? Oh, what's up with it? Never had this weird issue. Maybe it was just Buckland. Yeah, it looks like it's just Buckland. Um, and more games need to include something like that, but also like they really need to do a better job at streamlining information. So, and Lotro, I think, genuinely does this really well, where you'll hit level 20, for instance, and when you are level 20, you unlock missions, you unlock skirmishes, and you're given quests that introduce you to them, but you don't have to do them.
What can I do for you?
So, like, if, for instance, you get that quest and you're like, I don't want to go and do these missions right now, you don't have to. But I've noticed that some MMOs either like throw all of the information at you at once, or they like don't give it to you at all. And it just, you need to drip feed your players information. And actually, I was just thinking, laughing about this. I actually haven't gotten the crafting tutorial on this character yet. I didn't get the outfitting yourself and others quest. Um, or maybe I did and I just forgot about it, which also wouldn't surprise me. Um, but anyways, all that to be said, the best part about MMOs and especially Lotro is there are so many ways you can play an MMO. If you are that guy who you want to go
How do you do?
and you want to grind dungeons to your heart's content, you want to throw out missions, you want to just grind instance content, get the best gear even at lower levels, you can do that. If you're wanting to just go slow, focus on story questing, you can do that. If you want to if you want to just not worry about leveling at all and hang out in the Shire, buy a house at level 15 and then just live life as a hobbit, you can do that too. There's so many cool things that you can do within Lotro, and it's genuinely part of the reason why it's the most underrated game ever. The most underrated MMO. You just want a crafting bot? Exactly, you can do that. Oh, a +1 argument in favor of Valoring? Yeah. And I mean, even when it comes to Valoring, like if you want to spend the $30 to Valar and you want to like use that money, or like you want a Valar and just play endgame and not focus on the leveling aspects, you can do that. I think you're crazy for it, but you can do that. If that's genuinely how you want to play Lotro, is just do endgame content, you can do that. Like I know some people who played SWOTOR at launch because they wanted to be one of the best SWOTOR players and they wanted to be a raid leader. And so when SWOTOR came out, they were excited because they didn't have to try and learn 10 plus years of MMO. Like I would love to be a raid leader. I would absolutely love, well, maybe not a leader, but I would love to be able to grind endgame content on a main character. I've never really had a good experience doing it when I did it in SWOTOR, but I'd love to do that. But I'm also not going to spend the $30 to Valor. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to experience the whole game. And Lotro is really designed around experiencing the whole game. And that's something that I really, really like about it. So that's just, another big thing. I think that's one of the strong draws to new MMOs for seasoned MMO players. It gives you a chance to full send at the start. Yes, that is a thing that a lot of MMOs, not a lot, because there are some MMO players that are like, why would I switch MMOs when I've put thousands upon thousands of hours into this one MMO? I'm not gonna switch. It's part of the reason why new MMOs are doomed to fail. But I don't think that's necessarily a fault on devs because you want to give the players a reason to stop playing their MMO. So it's such a weird balance to find the right thing from what's going to work as an MMO dev. I totally recorded this with the thought of I'm gonna talk about this thing, and then I just got disheveled into so many other conversations and topics that I just don't know how I'm gonna put this into a YouTube video.